haven't shown you the big garden in a while, so let's show you it here. These squashes and such, really, we just have not had the heat for them. So they're all just so tiny because they just need heat and we don't have it. A bunch of them just died because of the lack of heat. This is the only one that's got something going. This is green machine zucchini. And yeah, there's weeding to be done. In here, in theory, there's carrots. But first of all, we had really bad germination. And second of all, the weeds keep taking over. So yeah, there's carrots, but there's also lots of weeds. I did replant some carrots here. We'll see how they come up. Then we have rows and rows and rows of potatoes. We sell seed potatoes. These are not just for eating. And then down here, wow, these strawberries ripened since yesterday morning when I was here. Beautiful. So, I've been working on weeding. You can see one side looks nice and one side doesn't. I went up one side. There's strawberries, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbages in here. And we had to deal with root maggot. So I used, you can see where I lost a bunch of root maggot and the pigs got out. We used Safer soap and I did it at nighttime after all beneficial insects were away for the night. And I diluted it in water and I poured it at the base of the plants and it seemed to stop. This is the only one that has any lasting damage from root maggot. I did pull out all the dead ones, but we haven't lost any more to root maggot. Here's the piggy wiggies. Hey, piggy wiggies. Rowan! So then, along here, my project today is weeding the garden. So many peas coming on. So exciting. They just need some heat. They're delicious. Lettuce, lettuce, lettuce. Lettuce, 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 lettuce. All these peas are delicious. There's spinach that I let go to seed. More weeding to be done. And we're back at the potatoes. So, this one is a pretty easy one to give a tour of because it's mostly just large amounts of a few things. But the cabbages are starting to head up nicely. Broccoli. I did have some broccoli this time that was a different variety that's not doing much. So obviously stick with my tried and true varieties, not the newer ones like these ones, this little tiny stupid head. So many strawberry runners. Wow. Anyhow, I'm going to enjoy this strawberry. There's so many more coming on. In this family, you got to take the strawberries where you can get them, where the kids get them.
You giving those weeds to the pigs?
Yeah.
They'll enjoy it.
They order weeds. Only 2 of them are after him yet. The others are still enjoying pig feed. I gave them earlier. There's a weed order.
The other ones are still eating. These guys are just munching on the weeds. We just pulled a whole bunch of them out of the garden. And another thing in the garden would be, and then you're going to spot it, would be, let's see, 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 let's almost right strawberry. Almost. Then we got another one right there.
I see one almost ripe over there. It's in there.
Okay, well.
Wait, is that a ripe one?
That one.
Is it ripe?
Nope, not
Let's
ripe.
just show 'em.
Not ripe.
Yeah,
But
but still
close.
But really close. Closer than the other one.
How's weeding going, Bub?
Going good. You guys need to clear out these weeds for the pigs, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Pigs need to reduce more than their feed.
There's big weeds there.
Every once in a while, we need to give them some sun treat. We need to give them sun treat every once in a while. And this seems like a nice one.
We were letting
Now you can start.
this spinach go to seed, but then it kind of was blocking the peas too much, and it was going to be way too hard to pick the peas. And we have spinach going to seed elsewhere that isn't blocking anything, so we decided to pull this spinach and feed it to the pigs, so that all our lovely peas were easier to access.
You should quit shaking me.
And our pigs get some treats. Dang it.
Now we're gonna have to edit that part because you went right in the way. How are the peas
I'll put the
tasting?
camera down and get all the... It has been windy for days, and Marius and the kids have been wanting to get fishing and haven't been able to. So it's not windy now, and we have a few hours where we need to be at dinner at my sister's. So they took off to go fishing, and Rowan and I are going to film a garden tour. It's something I can do with Rowan while the canner cools down before I need to fill up the next round. You gonna keep us company, Pepper? Rowan's got a cookie and she is ready to go. Up here at the house, my kitchen garden is looking amazing. I love it so much. I've got the purple kale in with the dahlias. This borage is huge. And there's all sorts of little pops of color and flowers. Calendula is starting to come up amongst lettuce, or it's coming up, but it's going to flower soon. More lettuce. I've been thinning and eating this. More flowers. So now there's lettuce coming up right in the middle here. Lettuce. I just plant lettuce everywhere in successions. This is carrots. Most of my carrots are not in the big garden. Cilantro, flowers, cosmos, calendula. I'm not sure if that's a zinnia or an aster. More lovely flowers. More lovely flowers. This is dill coming up. Some green beans. The corn is not very happy. That whole like knee high by the 4th of July. Well, there's my knee. I think we're not there. Oh well. We'll see where it gets. If all else fails, it's pig feed. The peas had bad germination, so I put more in there. Potatoes up here look good. Over here, we have some squashes and tomatoes that got hit by a bad frost. So there is some little zucchinis on here, but I'm not expecting great things from them. These green beans also awful germination. Actually, they had good germination, then they got hit by a frost. So that didn't help. More flowers. Spinach I'm letting go to seed. Couldn't find the baby for a second. She's hanging out with the dog. See her over there? Kale, lettuce, Swiss chard. In here, there was onions that were not doing so hot. So I actually recently planted some other broccoli to see how it would do in here. Let's see how it goes. The dandelions really like this corner. My oriental poppies in here are done. Yarrow looks beautiful. More poppies. Amongst the thistles, there's my single peony. And do you know what else fun we did? First of all, we bought a canoe, a used canoe. We also bought a used camper. And I haven't really shown it to you guys. So here's our camper, and it was very cheap because it is very old. And we are in the midst of fixing some things in it because when you buy a camper that's as old as you for $1,000, there's some fixes to be expected. Lots of those. So, I took all the curtains out, washing those are the curtain things. Oh, there's no stool here. Okay, so I took these out. We had a little leak, which there was no signs of water damage when we bought it, and there wasn't signs of it being fixed either. We just had like the most crazy storm, and Marius thinks that just maybe there was some snow damage over winter, and there hadn't been such crazy storms until now. So he says it's an easy fix. I'm just gonna trust him there. Lots of cupboards, a little fridge, there's just a stove top. Marius was fixing something. The plumbing needed a new part. And where our bed it will be, I'm getting new foam because I don't do old foam. Lots of cupboards. And there is like a shower in here and toilet. There's a propane heater. Anyways, it's fun. There's a table and such here. And it's pretty cheap and it fits our needs. We looked at and were tempted by more expensive travel trailers. And when it came down to it, we never go away for more than a few days at a time. And we don't, just finding the baby. We don't get away a whole lot because we're farmers, and when you're farmers, it's hard to get away a lot. And so, you know, for example, we looked at one that was $8,000. And we're like, okay, $8,000 over 10 years, $800. Are we gonna use this $800 a year's worth? Probably not. We're not gonna get $8,000 worth of value. A camper that all it is a dry place if it's raining, somewhere for me and the small children to sleep because I don't tent camp very well. So $1,200 over 10 years is $120 a year. Are we gonna get $120 worth a year worth? Yeah, that's pretty easy to get. And I use this sort of math with all sorts of things. Like if I'm tempted by a cute dress for Rowan or Freya. Like, okay, Rowan, how many times is she realistically gonna wear this out before she outgrows it? Is she gonna get 10 wears out of it? You know? And it's a $30 dress. Is it really worth $3 a wear to buy this? Probably not. So then we just pass and we go to the thrift store and we find something for $2, and then we're looking at a lot less dollars per wear, and that's why you buy used and save the difference. So now let's go show you the raspberry garden. This is my chaotic berry garden. Mostly it's just raspberries. It's a weedy mess, but that's okay. Hey look, there's a cup. Let's bring that inside, Rowan. Put it out so we remember it. So there's rhubarb in there somewhere. But it's looking like it's gonna be a bad wild berry year, but I'm seeing lots of berries on our domestic berries, which is good because last year was an awful raspberry year. So it looks like we are gonna be bumping with raspberries once we get some good sunshine and such. Oh yeah, you see the cows? They're hanging out over there. I put a lot of effort this year into trellising the raspberries to make them a lot easier. I should get Marius to weed whack in here. Just put that on his list. I can't weed whack with my allergies. Well, I can, it just really doesn't go very well. Anyhow, it looks good in here and I can't wait until there's berries. And I'm gonna go add weed whacking to Marius' to-do list. These are our hascaps. There's still some. I honestly don't really pick them. My kids do. They like them. And I just let them pick them and enjoy them. Fruit trees are loaded. Sour cherry here. And let's go into the greenhouse, Rowan. So, we have not had much warm weather at all. Things are finally starting to take off in the greenhouse, which is nice. There's still some tomatoes that never really got potted up.
Yeah.
But everything looks good in here. I'm starting to pull out the peas at the back. They never really did much, so I decided I'm just pulling them out to give the tomatoes more space. And pretty sure those grew like overnight. They were not that big, those cucumbers that are still in pots. And there's kale and green onions hidden beneath the pot plants. pot plants are in hopes of keeping aphids away from the other plants. We were told they're good aphid deterrents, and it's legal to grow where we live. So we're doing it for fun. I mostly will probably use it to make a salve. It's a pain cream. So there you go. Tomatoes and the pot are kind of the only things doing well in here. The peas and my cucumbers and all that are not very happy. I have another planting of green beans because I'm hoping that in here I'll get some better green beans. Planted a seed pack worth. Now, oh look, chaos everywhere. My cold frame, these zucchini in the cold frame are doing terrific. I think this is called Green Machine. My peppers, however, are not. I have some cucumbers in pots here. My peppers really just need heat. They need heat so bad, and they're just not getting it. Now, this is a herb bed that is overtaken by weeds, but I still pick lots of herbs from it. The apples look terrific. This is not a keeper apple, this is an applesauce apple for the most part. This sour cherry tree is absolutely loaded. I'm not sure if it's even going to ripen all these or not. And there's a few apples on that Honeycrisp tree. Now here is my garlic. It's getting close to being ready to be pulled. We have peas along here. There is some little baby blueberry plants in there that, because they weren't going to do much this year, I planted other stuff in here. Kale. More peas and some thistles. And more strawberries up here. This is a different variety of strawberries called Sable. That concludes our garden tour, Rowan. Today is July 20th. But who knows when you'll see this because I'm not always super prompt. Yeah. And now we're gonna film a video quick, Rowan, on what animals we have right now, because I think sometimes it's confusing in just snippets of videos and Instagram and whatever to really get a handle on what animals we have. So we're gonna do a YouTube video. I think you're just doing that for fun. Huh?